Better mute the music before I get flipping copyrighted for some dumb reason, even though I'm listening to music that's on this platform for free. So dumb. Every time I go live on here, I get some kind of notification about some song that was playing in the background. So stupid. Meanwhile, I watch everybody else going live, just like listening to music. Like that's the live, and people are picking songs and stuff. Like, how do they not get copyrighted? Anyway, what the flip is up? All right, what are all? All right, let's see here. Nope, didn't want that. Nope, didn't want that. What is this? What's up, person? Please state your name for the class. Wish I could listen to music. Wonder if they'll catch this one. What's Gucci out there? I feel like I'm missing a bunch of stuff on the screen. Last time I did this, it was all weird too. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of stuff. I can't even see who's here. Is that normal? Or am I getting it mixed up with the old talk? The old talk. There's people about outside the house. What's going on, two people? I'm trying to decide whether or not I should listen to music. Because the last couple times I went live, I got copyrighted. They weren't copyright strikes. They were just like, hey. one of them, one of my lives got banned in Russia because I played Pearl Jam in the background. It's weird. Apparently Russians aren't allowed to listen to Pearl Jam. I don't get it. Anyway, wanted to do a quick conversation about the old Garmin Livescope. I gotta say, so far I'm not a fan of it. It has completely taken the mystery out of fishing. Like, I guess it's a good tool, like in a tournament setting where you're not really trying to have fun, you're trying to win. But when you're fishing like on the weekends for funsies, like the first couple weeks I had to keep reminding myself, stop staring at it, like just fish. You know what I mean? So the last couple outings, I just fished. And after I hit a stretch for 15, 20 minutes or whatever, pan the old scope over to find out that there was no fish there to begin with. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I just wasted 20 minutes casting at nothing. And it's a bummer. You know, find myself going, man, like, why did I? There's no fish. There's no fish right there. Yet I was fishing there for 20 minutes. At least before, I would assume that there was fish there. They just weren't biting. You know what I mean? Bump into a branch or a log, and you're like, oh, I got a bite. For sure that was a bite. You know what I mean? But now you know that there was no fish there because of the live scope. And kind of took the fun out of it. Took the fun out of me hitting spots multiple times because I already know that there's not fish there because I looked, you know. But as far as the live scope and finding fish, like, yeah, I find fish, but you still don't know what they are. I mean, you can kind of assume based on their positioning and, you know, the water temp and all the stuff you know about bass fishing that they're most likely that they are bass, but you still don't know. They're not reacting to any baits. They're not doing anything. You know what I mean? They're kind of moving around a little bit, but you still don't know. So unless you actually catch it and know, it's kind of like you're just staring at fish that aren't doing nothing. And a lot of them, they look little, so I'm assuming that they're perch or something, but I don't know. I mean, it's cool to see, you know, or it's cool to use as far as like looking at structure and seeing where those fish are at on the structure, you know. But as far as like trying to actually just fish without it, but you have the opportunity to look and see if there was even fish there, it kind of took the fun right out of it. And most of the time, I'm just frustrated because I'm seeing the fish in other spots, and I'm not getting any reactions. Nothing's happening. Throwing 40 different lures at them, and it's just frustrating. So far, I'm not a fan of Livescope. Like I said, it's cool and everything, but for just a Saturday, Sunday fun fishing day, like you kind of take everything you know about fishing and you throw it out the window because those spots that you assume they're at and they're not, you're kind of like, oh, well, they're not even there. So now what? And then you end up just trolling around hunting for fish basically. And then once you do find, they're not doing nothing. So it's like, I don't know. Live scope is like, I was pumped to get it. I was like, oh yeah, gotta have it. Looks sick. Find the fish. If I find the fish, I can get them to bite. That is not the case. Number one, it's way harder than it looks. Number two, it takes the mystery out of what you know about fishing. And number three, it's frustrating because when you do see fish and they don't bite, you're like, ugh. So my thoughts on Livescope. I've only had it for like 3 or 4 weeks now, and I've only hooked. I haven't even caught a fish on it yet. I've hooked one fish, but I lost it at the boat, and it was a good fish too. Check out the latest video I posted about losing the first live scope fish. It was the second fish of the year that I hooked. But anyway, I lost it, so it doesn't even count. I didn't catch it. It was a decent fish. I'm assuming it was probably like 4 or 5 pounds, but I don't know for sure, so whatever. Anyway, so far the live scope has been more of a hassle than a help. Because at least if I didn't have it, I would assume the places I was hitting, high percentage locations, that there was fish, even though I wasn't catching them. Before, like those high percentage spots where you're not getting bites, you kind of venture off to some other spots and you circle back around to it, give her another shot. But now there's no point in even going back because I panned through there and there's no fish there. So I don't know. So far, not a fan, but we'll see. Water's just starting to like warm up, so it's like maybe after the spawn when they go into their post spawn stuff, going into their summer pattern and such. Maybe they'll be cracking off a little bit harder, but I don't know. Anyway, there's my rant about Livescope. You throw it up there with all the other videos. Plus, it was expensive too, so it's like spend all this money to try to help, or not really help. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought after I got it, I was gonna be hammering fish, but that's not the case yet. And I my wife keeps telling me, she's like, "Don't get discouraged on the Livescope. It might still be a little too early." And I'm sitting here like, the water's 55 degrees. These fish should be moving. You know what I mean? So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, this is crazy. All that money for what? I would have had more fun fishing, not catching fish without it. But who knows? What's going on in here? Who's all in here? Am I able to see who's even in here? Ryan Teague? Is that how you pronounce it? W. What, sorry? The W for when? W for what? W for when am I going to catch fish? What's the W? But anyway, just keep grinding. Oh, Pearl Jam's playing. I better freaking stop it. Holy smokes. Wouldn't want my thing to get copyrighted. I would hate for Russia not to be able to see my videos. Crazy. Apparently, your videos get banned in Russia if you have Pearl Jam playing in them. 2 people in here. Who are they? Say what's up. I want to know who's hanging in there with me. I was just talking about my opinions of Livescope so far. So far, I'm going to do 3 categories. I gave it for the fun factor, because I thought it was going to be popping fun having Livescope. I'm going to give it like a D+. So far, it's just frustrated me. Number 2, finding fish. I give it a B, because I have found fish, but I just don't know if they're bass or not. And number 3, helpfulness. I'm gonna have to give that a D as well, because like I said, it's only frustrated me more than it's helped me. So I don't know. Has anybody out there got opinions on Livescope? Also, like I said, it's harder than it looks. So maybe I'm not doing it right. But like, there's not much really to it. You get your settings dialed in so everything's clear enough to where you can kind of distinguish fish from whatever else, which I got. I could tell that those are fish. And number 2, like dialing in on your bait after you cast or where you're casting, which I got down pretty good. You know, I could cast either to where my thing's headed, or I can cast and then pan to it pretty quick. Like, I think I got the hang of it as far as like using it. But like, I don't know. I don't think I've mastered. I mean, obviously I haven't, because I haven't even caught a fish on it yet. But like, I can't even get fish to react. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't know. Like today, I threw probably 40 different lures at like a bunch of fish. They either turned, like, there was one fish all day to where like I was in an area I would never think to even throw chatterbait. Conditions weren't right, water clarity, like all kinds of everything you know about fishing. Like, chatterbait was a no-go. And it was the last one I tried, pretty much. And I was dragging it on the bottom like you would a jig, basically, because that's where the fish were at. They were kind of on the bottom in like, it was like 7 or 8 feet of water. And I had one turn on it and kind of follow it for a couple seconds, but then it turned back around. And I was like, what the? I threw my rod down. I'm like, dude, what do you guys want? I don't get it. But anyway, it's frustrating. That guy right there, the old Garmin, bud. But we got 4 people up in here. Ooh, 2 people up in here. So yeah, there's my take on Livescope. Part of me wishes I didn't get it, but there's a part of me that knows that I wouldn't have been able to what's the right word? To just let go without having it. Like just like, oh no, I don't need it. Cause like I fully wanted to try it. I fully feel like I need it for tournament fishing nowadays and like all kinds of stuff. Yes, Wusho. You need a baba? Okay, 1 minute. She got attitude. But yeah. Anyways. Who out there's got an opinion on Livescope? Somebody who's used it. Not like the people who are like, oh, I can't afford it. They shouldn't be allowed. People. I can't afford it either, and yet I was able to get it. So far I don't like it, just to be clear. But I want to hear somebody who has used it, who's been successful on it, who has like a solid opinion, even though it is helping you. Do you like it or not? Because like I said, my main thing was it took the fun and the mystery out completely. Even though I haven't caught fish on it, trying to turn away from the screen and just fish like I would normally, but then jump back on it to pan over where I was casting at to find out that there was no fish anyway, bummed me out big time. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'll have another opinion in a couple months after things really crank off. But that is remains to be determined, I guess. Can somebody else say something? Ryan T. That's how you pronounce the last name there. Said W. Asked what that was about. Never got an answer. So we got 2 people in here. Can somebody please say something so I can see either who's in here or because last time I was on here, I had a few people watching, and I asked multiple times somebody say something because I thought the screen was messed up or the thing, and I didn't even know if it was working. So I don't know if anybody ever even commented or what, but welcome. Oh, that was me. I accidentally pressed that. But yeah, anyway, fishing's been tough. Got the first fish of the year a couple weeks ago. Yeah, a couple weekends ago. Hooked the second fish the day after that and lost it. Like I said, you can watch my latest video on me catching it on Livescope and then losing it at the boat. You can check that out if you wouldn't mind. There's 4 people up in here. What's up? Say something. It's hard to do these lives like I do it on TikTok too. I get on, but like nobody says anything, or I don't know. It's weird. So like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like all the lives I watch, somebody's like doing something, building something, drawing something, but I'm not. So I don't know what to do. Should I start drawing? I can draw. We can draw something. Let's see here. Ain't paper. Tell me something to draw. Something stupid. Husqvarna. Not enough room to draw anything. Old receipt maybe? Depends on what it is for. Battery. Oh, battery for the boat. Alright. Oh, dang it. There's writing on the back. Envelope. Mail. Alright, give me something. Give me something to draw or I'm going to pick something. Quick. Hurry up. Quick, quick, quick. Let me see here. We're drawing. We're drawing. What should I draw? I'm drawing something. Oh, I messed up. Drawn. Camel. What now? Somebody say something, dude. Interact. I just talked about Livescope for like 15 minutes. Give me your opinion or something. Even if you haven't used it. Just by what you know. Should we be using it? Bum, bum, bum. Oh, let's talk about my opinion about that. All these professional bass fishermen with 27 graphs and 15 live scope transducers and such on their boats. Like, I personally think it's getting a little bit out of hand, but I do think so. They're not going to please everybody. The people that don't think it should be allowed, and the people that don't care, and the people that do think it should be allowed. I think there's only one way to settle it, and it's just like every other rule and everything else in every sport, like a regulation of some kind. Like maybe they should regulate how many graphs they have, how many transducers they have, or like the Elite Series where they have however many tournaments. I think it's 9 tournaments a year, or however many they have. Like maybe a certain amount of those should be just no live scope, or maybe there should be a time in the day, like maybe they can't use live scope from blast off till like, I don't know, 10:30, and then they're allowed to use it from then on or something. They're gonna have to put in some kind of a regulation. Otherwise, here in about 2 years, these boats are gonna have 30 graphs on them in live scope transducers all the way around. There's gonna be like 20 of them. It's gonna get ridiculous, and then pretty soon you're gonna have to have $100,000 worth of Garmin screens on your boat in order to compete. But if they limited the amount of screens they could put on their boat and transducers and stuff, then that will put a cap on the money situation, and then anglers who don't have that much money could get to that point and be like equal playing field. But as far as banning it completely from tournament fishing, I don't think that's right. I don't think they should do that. I don't even know if they've even been talking about banning it, but I know there's a lot of people out there who think they should ban it. But as far as hurting the fisheries, I don't think that's what's happening. All it's doing is putting focus on different fish that we didn't know were there. Like they're like, oh, well, they're finding more fish. Like, no, they're finding different fish. You know what I mean? So like the ones that they normally would have been fishing with are being left alone now. You know what I mean? So they're just finding different fish. I mean, they're bigger fish probably, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that leaves the ones that were going to get caught normally alone and able to grow. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Whatever, dude. I'm not in the Elite Series or the MLF or BFLs or anything like that, so I have no say in what they're allowed to do. Just giving my opinion. Also, on top of all of it, people who haven't used it think that it's like a cheat to fishing. That's really not, unless the bite is on. You know what I mean? But if the bite's on, then you're catching fish without it anyway, by going to the normal spots that we all, assume they're at. But if it's dead, nobody's catching fish. The Livescope's not gonna make the fish bite. You know what I mean? So it's like all it does is put you on fish that you didn't know were there. Whether or not you can get them to bite or not, it doesn't help that. Trust me. I've been using it for the last 3 weeks and I haven't caught a fish on it. Seen plenty of fish, but haven't caught one on it. What's up, boy? You want to say hi?
To who? Are you your subscribers?
Some of them, I think. Say hi.
Hi.
That's boy. He's saying hi. Say hi again.
Hi.
But anywho's, I'm done ranting about Livescope. I'll give another solid opinion after I at least start catching fish on it. Because like I said, like my wife said, she thinks it's still a little too early to be catching fish anyway, where I live at. I mean, the conditions and everything are right. The water temperature's warm enough. I mean, it's low to mid 50s. They should be moving around. And I did catch a fish a couple weeks ago, so I mean, it kind of, I don't know. But she thinks I should just chill out. Fish will start biting soon enough. So, anyway, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go hang out with the kids while they argue about who gets to eat pizza or not. So, thanks for tuning in and listening to me complain about not catching anything on Livescope. It'll happen. Later.